Good morning, church. I'm sure we've all heard of the saying that being busy doesn't always mean being productive, and that's true. I'm sure maybe you've been in a workplace or a project where someone seems to be doing a lot without actually getting anything done. And for us, that can be true as Christians if we do certain things but with the wrong motive. The Bible says in Zechariah chapter 7 that the Lord told the prophet, "Speak unto all the people of the land and to the priests, saying, when you fasted and mourned in the 5th and 7th month, even those 70 years," he says, "you were fasting for such a long time. That whole time," he asks, "did ye at all fast unto me, even unto me? Was that even for me? And when ye did eat and when ye did drink, did not ye eat for yourselves and drink for yourselves?" God tells his people, you certainly were busy. You're doing a lot of religious things. The problem is you're not doing it for me. And today I want to encourage you to take a time to seek God and not just do things for God, but to do things for God His way. We can very easily do a lot for God and just do it however we want. If it's convenient, if it's in our comfort zone, if we like it. And God said you're doing that for yourselves to appease your conscience, but you're not willing to change and to submit and to humbly serve me how I want you to. The Pharisees did a lot, but their motive was wrong. So it's not so much what we do, but why we do it. And not only that, but make sure that God approves of what you do, that God approves of how you serve, of how you represent Him. Christianity has been smeared so much by those who don't take the time to seek what God really asks of them, and they just go out and live their customized version of Christianity, and we can be close to making that mistake. And then he goes on and he says, "Should ye not hear the words which the Lord hath cried by the former prophets?" He says, why don't you take the time to listen to what I want you to do. And then he says, "Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, execute your judgment, show mercy and compassion every man to his brother, oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor. Let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart." But they refuse to hearken, and pulled away the shoulder, and stopped their ears, that they should not hear. And too often we can fall into that same thing. God, I already know what I'm supposed to do. And we don't take the time to go to God and say, God, what do you want? What should I change? What do I need to stop doing? Where do I need to grow? We're content with how we serve. And they refuse to improve their service to God. They refuse to change because they were already doing things for God. Their satisfaction with their religious traditions kept them from growing. It kept them from changing, from actually serving God. And we can do godly things without even acknowledging God. We can do a lot of praising the Lord on Sunday morning and very little pleasing the Lord the rest of the week. God tells the church in Ephesus, "I know thy works and thy labor and thy patience, and how thou canst not bear them which are evil, and thou hast tried them which say they are apostles and are not, and hast found them liars." He says, you're doing a lot, you're born and you've had patience, and for my name's sake hast labored and hast not fainted. Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. What God did for us and what God does for us every single day is out of the abundance of His great love. Our service to Him, our living for Him, ought to be the natural response of our love for Him. God bless you.